Now let's jump into Mynth itself, right? So right now you guys have MyUSD, which is going to be bringing interoperability through a stable coin into Cardano. This, I want to say, has probably been one of the biggest developments that has come to my attention when it comes to what Mynth is doing. Do you mind briefly explaining, what MyUSD is? And then we're going to jump into some of the different aspects surrounding marketing, adoption, and liquidity.
Yeah, sure. So MyUSD was originally pinned for launching later in 2024 this year, but we kind of pivoted our plans a little bit when we got some feedback during the Dubai summit. So some of our team went to the Dubai summit and got some good community feedback, and we were just really seeing that Cardano was lacking a stablecoin, and this was really holding us back. So originally we launched our cross-chain platform supporting IUSD. So we allowed users to take the IUSD and swap it for USDT on the Tron blockchain. And we had plans to expand the blockchain offerings, but we couldn't move forward because Mynth relies on a one-to-one stable swap pair, and IUSD started depegging. At first, it was fine because it was only depegging 2 or 3%. But then when it started to depeg to 10% and 15%, it just became unfeasible for us. We didn't have enough liquidity. We would need VC funding in order to move forward. So that's why we decided to accelerate with MyUSD. So MyUSD is just the interoperability layer that we've kind of expanded. So we already had built this cross-chain infrastructure to allow IUSD to be transferred to other blockchains. So now we have just extended that to create this synthetic asset that is a representative of stablecoins on other blockchains. Now, the grand vision of this long term is that it's going to be a collateralized asset that has backings from multiple stablecoins. So right now it's USDT. Very soon we will be launching USDC, hopefully by the end of this month or early next month. So we'll have MyUSD collateralized by both USDT and USDC, and then we'll be expanding beyond that. So you can think of MyUSD as a stablecoin that's backed by other stablecoins, but going further than that, it's backed by other stablecoins on multiple blockchains. And when the other stablecoins for Cardano launch, such as Mehen's USDM and Bhutan's USDB, we can also add that as collateral on the Cardano side. So then we can bridge it over to other blockchains. And so MyUSD can live on other blockchains and then be collateralized on the Cardano side. So it's going to be this multifaceted stablecoin that has multiple backings. And then further down the line, we also want to introduce an insurance pool so that if any single collateral source depegs, say hypothetically USDT starts to depegging phase, then because that's only one fraction of the collateral, we can dip into the insurance pool to recover those funds and then bring MyUSD back to its stable peg.
So you touched on a few things there that I want to highlight. I think the first is the community's concerns when you guys had actually bumped up the priority for MyUSD. I recall when you guys released the actual announcement, there were a couple of comments stating, hey, you guys had this later down on the roadmap. Why the actual switch in priority? Which, after your explanation of IUSD depegging and basically becoming unstable, that kind of forced you guys' hands to bump that up in priority. As you're probably more than aware, stablecoins are a huge issue within Cardano. So your explanation, I think, makes perfect sense. And again, to have your team on the ground at the Dubai Summit to really kind of hear from the Cardano community, I'm sure they're able to get a lot of feedback when it comes to that. I think that even right now, as it stands, with the addition of Mahen, we still probably aren't going to have as many stable coins as we need. I know that people are putting a lot of expectations into them, and myself included. I think that it's going to be a huge opportunity. Obviously, they can help out people like you, as you mentioned, building out stable coins backed by other stable coins in the ecosystem. But I think that just like with DEXs, we're going to need, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, plus more stable coins in order to really get the options, number one, the liquidity, number two, but then the integrations, number three, right? Because again, I see that different protocols support different stable coins, just like different DEXs support different Cardano native tokens. So I wanted to highlight that there. One thing that you mentioned that really caught my attention as well with regards to deep pegging, it sounds like you guys have kind of thought through this, is the actual collateral / insurance process as well, right? Because again, as you mentioned, if you guys are backed by multiple Cardano native stablecoins, you could then potentially have that collateral set to the side in the event that there is some sort of deep pegging. And of course, that also allows you guys to diversify to where if there is a deep pegging on one of those stable coins, it doesn't necessarily take the entire value of MyUSD down, because again, that would only be a certain portion of the entire backing of MyUSD.